Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Community Works. I'm Bernadette Welsh, your host. Each one of our shows highlights a local nonprofit agency in our area. Our goal is to educate you, our viewers, about the great work that's going on all around us every day by local agencies and their supporters. When people help their neighbors, everybody benefits. The focus of today's show is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. It's about aging at home with friends and support, and that is part of what makes HomeHaven an amazing organization. So, to tell us all about HomeHaven, I am welcoming my guests, Lori Lowell, who is not only has a master's degree in social work and a degree in jurisprudence. How do you say that?
Juris doctor. I'm a lawyer.
Doctor of jurisprudence. That's what I wanted to say. She is the executive director of HomeHaven, and joining her is Kerry Triffin, and he is the president of the board of directors, and he was also the former owner of a wonderful company called Fairhaven Furniture. So I can't wait for you folks to meet them. They have a lot of information to tell us. So welcome to the show.
Thank you,
Bernadette.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you so
most
much.
welcome. I'm so excited. Lori, I'd like to start with you.
Yep.
So what we usually do is we go over mission. Then you're going to help us with how your organization is structured, and then how is that tied to the history of HomeHaven. So let us hear it.
Okay, thank you, Bernadette. We're delighted to be here. Thank you. I'm actually going to read the mission because I think it's important for me to really give you the exact wording of the way we look at the organization. HomeHaven is a vibrant community of older adults living in our own homes in the neighborhoods and towns we love throughout Greater New Haven. We come together for social, educational, cultural, and wellness activities and have access to services and neighbor-to-neighbor support when needed. As part of a strong, caring social network, we are able to stay independent and engaged while aging at home.
Excellent.
So it really says it all.
Yes, and it's a lovely mission statement.
Thank you. HomeHaven opened its doors 14 years ago, and it was started by a group of friends in the East Rock neighborhood of New Haven. They had heard about a similar organization up in Boston called Beacon Hill, and they decided they wanted to do the same thing in East Rock. And what they wanted was a way for all of them to continue to live in their own homes, in the neighborhood they love, and find a way to have the support services and the volunteer help and all the things that you need as you grow older without having to relocate. So this was 14 years ago. It started with one group, and they were known as East Rock Village. And some of your viewers may have heard of East Rock Village. Eventually, it was very successful, and the idea was catching on, and people from all around the area in different neighborhoods, even different towns, wanted to join. So East Rock Village became HomeHaven. And that brings us to the present. We currently have 5 villages, and I'm going to name them for you because it's important to know what they are in order to understand the way in which we function. So within the city of New Haven, we have East Rock Village, we have a downtown group, and we have a group in Westville. We also have a group in Hamden, which is with a group in North Haven, so that's known as the Hamden North Haven Village. And then we have a group which is 3 towns, so you can see it's an interesting structure, and that's why I wanted to mention it. The 3 towns of Woodbridge, Bethany, and Orange are all part of a group called Amity Village. So, some are neighborhoods, some are towns, but it all makes up the whole of HomeHaven.
Well, I think that really does say it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you have 14 years of history. You started off with one group, and then it expanded.
We've expanded.
And they all have done these wonderful things in their villages, which we're going to talk about next.
Good. By the way, we have 250 members today.
Wow,
So
that's quite a lot.
That's a lot of growth and a lot of stability.
Are they kind of similar in numbers, or some smaller than others?
They're not similar. And what we have found is that each of our villages, in some way, they have their own culture. They have their own things they love to do. Some groups like restaurant outings, and other groups like meeting in each other's homes, and some groups like doing things outdoors. And they're all different.
I love
and
that.
they're different sizes.
I love that, because the group decides what they want to do, don't they? Yes, the
They
group
do.
decides what they want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that takes care of how that works. So now, Lori, Kerry, whoever, it doesn't matter, tell me what some of the things are that these villages do.
Well, we call our structure hub and spoke.
Say that
there's
again?
hub and spoke.
Oh,
so
hub
you
and
get,
spoke. Oh, now I get it. Yes, okay, hub and
and
spoke.
Lori will talk about the hub, but the spokes are the 5 villages.
Oh, I love it.
And in the villages, each village approaches it in their own way. Hamden, for instance, recently started a series of concerts that are in the backyard of one of the members who lives in Hamden, and beautiful outdoor open concerts. Amity Village, which is what I'm part of, we've done things like having a group of us go to, what's that ice cream, that great ice cream place?
Is it
Lori?
Bill's?
Yeah, no, it's the one out
Ashley's?
no, it doesn't matter. Anyhow,
Wentworth's?
no.
Oh, we all know our ice cream. Well,
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
Well, you'll remember after the show what it was.
But we do things. We've gone on cruise to the Thimble Islands. We also did, last Sunday there was a soup, Amity soup. There were like 28 or 30 something of us who came together in one of the village members, actually the leader of that village, the head of that village, Rick, who has a wonderful property in Woodbridge, and spread out all sorts of soups and other food that people had brought. We have get-togethers for coffee hour, for happy hour. We do a lot of stuff on Zoom.
How about do you do bridge or Scrabble or get
there's-
together for
there is-
games?
There is a bridge group, I think, that's just starting now. I started a philosophy group not too long ago, and that's not at the village level. It's for anybody in any of the villages, and it's not a formal philosophy of Kant and Hegel and stuff. It's more personal philosophy. How do we meet the challenges of life as we keep going forward?
So what I hear you both saying is that there are things that just the village group does, but then there are things that are opened up to everybody.
Yes.
And I gather you publicize this through some kind of, do you have like a newsletter or emails that go out and say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that? Is that how it works?
Yes. I'll tell you a little bit about the activities that are HomeHaven wide and how we get information out.
Great.
So as a group, as a large group, we like to come together maybe 3-4 times a year for big parties. So in the spring we have something called Mud Follies, which is our talent show, coming up at the end of April. In fact, it's open to
You're
guests.
going to see some pictures about that.
If anyone's interested, they can call the office and find out more information about that. We have a big picnic in June outdoors in Edgerton Park. In August, as Kerry mentioned, we do a Thimble Islands trip. In the fall, we have a big membership meeting, and in December, of course, we have our holiday party. But in addition to these parties and gatherings, we also have various programs and presentations that we offer to the membership, because our members are very interested in learning and exploring and being open to health and wellness, finding ways to age in a healthy, kind of vibrant way, and we feel that it's very important to get that information out. So starting about 4 years ago, we started putting these programs on Zoom during the pandemic, of course.
Yeah, of course, during the pandemic.
And we've
yes.
recorded more than 50 programs of everything from, state-of-the-art health presentations to cultural programs. We've had some travel programs called Traveler's Tales, where members do amazing slideshows. We've done programs on people's hobbies, avocations. We've had people present on their professional interests. I mean, it's whatever the members want to do, we're available to do it.
I really
so
like
been
that
wonderful.
idea. So it's really up to the members.
It's up to the members.
If somebody said, I want to talk about gardening and gardening things, well, you say, well, let's listen to Mary Ellen talk about gardening.
Right. And we go to gardens. So
And
we
you-
do trips. We do
yeah,
field
do
trips to
trips.
places all over, mostly upstate Connecticut or out to the shoreline, but we've gone to Massachusetts for various
sure.
trips. We've gone to New York for trips.
Keeping it small and beautiful at the village level makes it very easy for somebody to say, well, I have a real interest I wish I could brush up on my French. I wonder if there's other people in my village or in the organization as a whole who would like to get together and just do conversation. And that started just a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
I love that. I love that. Again, it's growing and it continues to grow, and it's all about what the members want to talk about and do. And I really think that's a fabulous idea of how your village structure is organized and how it serves the people in those villages to be able to do what they want to do.
Right. Now,
they're having fun, folks.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're having a lot of fun.
HomeHaven, they're having fun.
By the way, our membership ranges in age from typically late 60s into their late 90s.
Wow.
And remember that these are people living in their own homes. So I want to emphasize that HomeHaven was started by people who said, you know what, I don't think I'm going to want to go to a congregate living environment, a continuing care community.
Right.
That's not for me. I'm going to hold off on that as long as I can. But one of the things that HomeHaven provides, and this is very important, we provide support services, because as we grow older, it's not necessarily as easy as it was earlier to do things for yourself around the house. So you may need help with things, you may need various kinds of referrals, you may need supports and resources. And our office, this is the hub that Kerry was talking about. The office is the hub of the organization. And members can call in and get all kinds of information to support them living in their own homes independently, safely, as long as they can.
So if I called up and said, I don't want to move, but I want somebody to come in and help me a little bit with my meal preparation.
So we would give referrals for that.
You would give a referral, but still I wouldn't have to worry about, who do I call or what do I do? I said, well, I'll call the home office they'll give me these recommendations, and they trust the organization. So they don't have to worry about being given misinformation or wrong information, or they're not going to get the runaround.
Right, and they're part of a community.
Right.
There's a feeling of belonging. And one of the things, Kerry, you were going to mention something about household supports for household services. Yeah.
Household services, yes. You get to a certain age, maybe your plumber died, maybe your electrician retired.
Yeah, you don't know who to call.
You call the office, and the office says, well, we have 3 electricians that members have used and that they've been happy, we've vetted them, everything is cool. But there's another piece which is, and we do home safety assessment, which is one of the things that we offer.
That's a perk of membership.
Yeah.
It's a full assessment of everything in your home, and then you get a written report. And that's one of the things we provide.
I do want to mention, we hadn't talked about this before, but that sort of the underlying concept is, if we get to know each other well enough, maybe we'll like each other well enough that someday if you or I ended up needing help, maybe you'd come to me, your neighbor in the village, and say, I just don't feel safe climbing on the table, on the chair to change my light bulb. Would you do it, Kerry? Would you do it, Rick?
Yeah.
And you want to, because that person is a friend.
They're your neighbor. They might not be your physical neighbor, but they are your philosophical neighbor.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's hard to ask a neighbor repeatedly, but if you have issues and you have things that you need help with, you can call the office and get the help you need. And that brings me to something I really want to emphasize, Bernadette. HomeHaven is about volunteering. Yeah. We would not be the organization we are if our members didn't volunteer. We have literally dozens and dozens of members who volunteer in various ways, and I'd like to just say a little bit about that.
Okay.
For example, we provide rides for members who need to get to appointments. Now, the rides are given by other members of HomeHaven who volunteer. We also provide, I just want to make sure I get this right.
Okay.
We provide IT help. Now that is very popular, because one of the things we all struggle with is...
I have to call my grandson and ask him to help me.
That's right. And not everybody has a grandson. You are lucky. So you call the office and you tell we have a fantastic operations manager. Her name is Kate. I got to give a shout out to Kate.
Yay.
You call Kate and you say, I need help with my computer, and my computer isn't talking to my printer isn't talking to the Wi-Fi.
I can so relate to that. I can
And
so
we
relate
have
to
a
that.
fantastic group of IT helpers.
Okay.
In addition, members will help each other with chores in the home and shopping. If you're laid up, let's say you broke your wrist and now you can't walk your dog or you can't go grocery shopping, we will help you find a volunteer to do that.
I think we've really gotten the point across that the village folks are a community that helps one another.
Yes.
So I wanted to bring this up real quick. I know there's not a long answer to this question, but obviously you talked about the villages and where they are. What if somebody is watching our program and they are not in your catchment? They're not in one of those towns that you outlined. What should they do?
Call the office.
Yes.
And talk to Lori or whoever, and we will do anything we can to be helpful. We will encourage you to start your own village. There are also existing villages. There's a shoreline village that we're not immediately associated with, so that already exists. And there's a national organization that will be helpful in any way that they can. We really believe that this is a good system, a good answer to the needs of older people as they get older, and it works, yeah.
And you were telling me how proud you are about how successful the villages are and how happy people are, because you contact folks and ask them.
Yeah, I call every new member within the first couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I'll call and I'll say, I'm calling to welcome you on behalf of the entire membership. Has one of the village leaders called you yet? Are you feeling like you're getting connected to people? And it's wonderful. And we have a huge renewal rate. Almost nobody says, I don't want to renew.
Yeah, really. I mean, why would you do that? Okay, so again, we want to move along because we don't want to miss out any of this good stuff. So now what we're going to do with the help of my wonderful Director Victor is we're going to look at some pictures. And you folks are going to help our viewers know what we're looking at. So let's see what comes up, and we're going to go through it fairly quickly because we want to show the pictures. So what are we looking at here? These folks look happy.
Oh, yes. Okay, these are members of Amity Village, and they are out having ice cream. This is something Carrie mentioned. Yeah. And it just shows a very relaxed, casual outing on a lovely summer day.
Cool. And next? Oh, these folks look happy too.
Okay, this group, oh boy, this is a group from Westville, which is one of our villages within the city of New Haven. And they are, I just went over this with Kate. Kate,
it looks to me like they're ordering food.
Well, they're ordering food, but they're on the edge of a river, and I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, that's okay.
But anyway, they're having a lovely time.
And next?
Okay, this is two of our beloved members having a chat during a gathering in someone's backyard, which was it's a May wine gathering. And May wine is a special kind of wine that you make with sweet woodruff.
Okay.
And one of our members hosts it, and these two are having a very important conversation.
Yes, they look like they're having a lovely conversation.
Yes, they are.
And next? Oh, look at this. Is she going to sing?
This one? No. She hosted it. So this is one of our founding members, and she hosted a piano concert. The two gentlemen are both accomplished pianists. They both also happen to be retired, emeritus professors at Yale. Okay, I'm going to brag a bit. And the lovely woman crouching to the side is, she was the page turner. Aww. And this just took place on a wintry day, but we all came together. There were maybe 25 of us gathering for a cultural activity in someone's home.
Very good.
We had a wonderful time.
And next? I think this is the Mud Follies.
This is Mud Follies, okay. This is a married couple, and they were performing, they were singing. They also did a dance routine, which you can't see here, but they are just beloved. So
wonderful,
yeah.
Wonderful. And next?
Okay.
These two ladies look like they are really getting it in there with their conversation. But they're happy. It's a happy conversation.
Oh, they're dear friends. And this took place during our holiday party. And the reason we shared this photo is it's just so animated, and it just shows the joy of friendship.
Very good.
Yeah.
And next? Now this must be your outside
This is our picnic. So we have our annual picnic in mid-June. And I love this picture because you get to see well, that was about 2/3 of the group. So there were another third that aren't in the photograph. And
Everybody's having a good time.
it's a potluck. We love potlucks. Everyone brings a dish. And the office provides, the paper goods and the beverages.
Great. Next.
And we had a great time.
And they're watching Mud Follies.
This is
I
Mud
could
Follies, and it's a crowd shot. And I don't know, I just wanted to show all of us together enjoying a performance of our own members. It happens to be hosted by a congregation that
I
allowed
just
us
think
to use their
it's
space.
charming.
It is.
It's charming.
It is.
Okay. And then here we are back again. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. I know we
Oh.
went through that a little fast.
It's okay.
But
Thank
it's
you.
okay because we want people are visual and they love to see that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how does somebody join the organization? Is there paperwork? Is there an application? Carrie,
Yeah.
tell us what if I wanted to do that. What would I do?
Call the office, set a time,
the
come in
office.
and do the paperwork. And the paperwork includes contact information, who to contact if there's a problem,
Right.
and a good concentration on learning more about you, what your interests are, what gets you excited, because we want to, right from the start, we want to get you involved.
For sure. And you
And-
want me to be happy. If I
Yeah.
go ahead and do this, you want me to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great.
We want to help people connect.
Yes,
And
connect.
so we need to know a little bit about you, and maybe we can
Yeah.
get you in touch with other bird watchers, or we can get you in touch with other people who want to paint together
or people
in a
that
group.
love baking, and they're just baking and all the time baking. Okay, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, we have lots of food groups. We have cooking groups. We have dining groups. That's always popular.
Okay, so now we're going to do a fun little thing. We're going to have you each tell a story and about somebody who you feel really benefited by being a member of HomeHaven. And Lori, I'll have you go first, and then Carrie.
Good,
So what
thank
would you like
you.
to share with us?
I have a very touching story, and it highlights something that I haven't had a chance to talk about yet, so I'm very excited to share it.
Okay, go ahead.
We had a couple who were founding members of HomeHaven. They got involved because they believed in it. They were devoted to it. And for years, they volunteered, they gave, they did for others, and they never needed anything. And then the gentleman took ill, and they needed support, and they needed help. And at that point, they were able to get back the benefits of everything they had given. And in particular, they needed some help at home, and they knew which agencies to call to get home health services. When he died, sadly, the entire village wrapped their arms around her with food and love and support. And
It's a beautiful story.
and it's very touching to me. And that person, she's still very active. She still volunteers. She still does a lot. But she really feels in her heart that HomeHaven, gave
Could you
her
imagine
what
if
she
she
needed.
had to face that alone?
Yeah.
She did not have to face that alone.
didn't have
And she
to face
didn't
it
have to worry about my daughter lives in Milwaukee and my son lives in Florida. And no, she had her own extended family.
Exactly. It's a benefit to
put
the
her
family.
Arms around, to put their arms around her. That's
Yeah.
a lovely story. Okay, Carrie, I want to give you a chance. What story would you like to share?
My own.
Oh, I
Which
love
is
that.
that I ran my own business. That meant that between that and family, a lot of my attention and time went to that, not to developing or strengthening friendships. I looked at it and I said, realistically, many of the friends that I do have are going to pass away or move to retirement homes or move out of state to be near their children or grandchildren. I don't want my circle of friends to narrow that much. I can't afford to have that. I don't want to
love
end
it.
up lonely.
Yes.
And I got involved, and after a year and a half, something like that, I was asked, would I want to be president of the board? And I said, oh, forget it, no way. But then I was brought up to have an open mind, and I
There you
started
go. And
asking,
now
and I
you're
said,
president
no,
of the
I'm ready.
board.
And I have to say, in a life filled with a lot of joys, this is one of the joys of my life, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's,
That-
and it's
that's-
really based on the people.
Touching. That's very touching. Thank you so much. And again, please forgive me if we're cutting this a wee
That's
bit
okay.
short. Okay, so now I want to be a member. I call the office, and they say, okay, Bernadette, here's how you could become it. We do need some financial support.
Yes. So
because
we do
obviously
charge.
this doesn't happen for free. So tell us about how folks pay for these, or how do you become a member? What's the financial end?
So the financial end is that people pay yearly dues. And if you are part of a household, either a couple or could be siblings or could be partners, close friends living together, you pay a certain fee. And if you're an individual person living by yourself, you pay a slightly lower fee.
Right.
And we also have a fee for people who have a reduced income, so they
Yes.
pay a half price.
Okay.
And also I want to mention that eventually many of our members do need to move someplace to get more supports, or for
Right.
various reasons they have to. They can stay on as members, and those are emeritus
Yes,
members,
and they're
they
forever.
pay a very, very reduced fee. So that's how we support the organization. We also receive contributions from our members. So in addition to fees, if they choose to, they can make a contribution. We are a 501c3 nonprofit,
Right.
tax deductible, all of that. We also get contributions from friends, from family members, from community people. We have some corporations that give us some support.
Yes.
We do get some grants
Very good.
for various programs and projects that we do. So yeah, we're part of the
It's chugging
nonprofit
along.
community.
It's chugging along.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Some
Yeah.
people's children will throw in
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
contributions because they
Yes.
realize this is
How
helping
great-
me that my parents
How
are
grateful,
in this.
how grateful they are that they
Yeah.
don't have to have that fear that their parent is going to need something, but they're in Milwaukee and they can't get there fast
Exactly,
enough.
exactly.
I think that is a wonderful aspect of your organization.
It's a very important
very,
part of
very
the
important.
organization.
Very important.
I didn't mention our visiting program. I just have to make a plug.
Go ahead,
That we
make a
have
plug,
friendly,
make a plug.
visiting program, and we make sure that every member who is vulnerable, lonely, isolated, they have somebody or several people sometimes who reach out to them. And as you know, we have an epidemic of loneliness in this
We
country.
do.
And it's especially hard for older people. And so our visitors program is so robust that we actually have a large committee. We have 2 chair people. That committee is so big it can't be run by one person. We have 2
Right.
people running that committee. And we have lots of people who are helping in various ways.
That's wonderful.
I wanted
Well,
to
we have only a
plug
couple of minutes left.
Okay.
So I want to talk about folks will find on the website what your plans are for the future. We know about Mud Follies, and we know the website gives a lot more information about what the villages do, and
Yep.
just give somebody an overview. If I went to your website, I would just be able to click, and
You know
get
what's the best part?
What?
You go to the website and you find the events calendar, and you will see
Wonderful
all that. We
things.
have memoir writing. We have all kinds of interest groups. We have pins and needles, which is doing handiwork. Not all women, men and women
Right,
are
men and
doing
women, for
pins and
sure.
needles. And you can see all the coffees that the villages are doing, the happy hours.
Yeah.
We go to the brewery once a month. It's located in East Rock, but they invite the entire village to join them.
I love it.
Thursday night, this Thursday
Thursday
night.
nights. Very good. So we're going to at the end of the program, we're almost there. We're going to show a screen that has your website information on it and all of the good things, so that, don't worry, the people are going to see how to contact and they get to talk to you. I know Lori, if I call, I say, may I speak to Lori? And Lori is
I'm
on the
there.
phone. I
Yep.
love it. I
Yep.
love it. So that's going to come up on the screen. But as we close, I'd like for you to say, we got to wrap it up. Well, Kerry, I think you told us really why this means so much to you. And I know, Lori, that this does mean so very much to you.
As I told you, it's my dream job.
It's your dream job.
It's
a
my dream job. I got
And
very
she is
lucky.
the dream executive
And
thank
director.
you.
And
She
everybody
I got
loves
lucky.
Lori.
I
And
got
everyone's
lucky.
Lori.
We got lucky.
Okay, well, I do have to wrap it up, and I'm so sorry that we've come to an end of this wonderful conversation with these 2 delightful people who obviously have their heart and soul into the concept of HomeHaven, and they make it work. And there are other people there that make it work. Each village has people that make it work. So if this appeals to you, if this is something you want to find out more about, I'm going to encourage you to go to that website. We're going to put that up. Call the folks and find out more information about HomeHaven. I don't think you'll be sorry. I'm even thinking about calling myself. So how
right.
about that?
Yay.
So thank you again for watching Community Works. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Kerry. What a wonderful program. And we'll see you again next time.